record on this computer.
Well, the withdrawals are well and truly setting in now. We're getting well into the show. We're all still stuck at home. We love the feedback we've been getting from you all. Lindsay, Douglas, it's been great the last few days to get all the feedback from everyone that's been telling us how much they've loved tuning in.
Absolutely. And we've featured people who have been to the show for generations, through to people that have gotten involved in more recent years. And we've had a good breadth of experienced wise heads and youth. And we thought it was about time we caught up with the Royal Agricultural Society of New South Wales Youth Affairs team. And the chairman is Tobie Payne, who joins us from Wagga. Welcome, Tobie.
G'day, Lindsay. G'day, Tim. How are you?
Tobie, it's so great that you could join us. Of course, this year was going to be your year as chair of the youth group. The youth group, a movement of young people coming through, getting to be involved in the show. Such a shame that you can't be there this year.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. We had some pretty action-packed events lined up, actually. It was very exciting, a lot of preparation throughout the year, and thought everything was lined up and loaded, ready to go. But these things happen, and luckily enough, we've pushed a few of them onto next year, which will be good too. Tell
us about some of those programs you run.
So we run 3, I suppose, programs at the show throughout the 12 days, from Agri Chats all the way to All Roads to the Royal, and the catch-up. But one of my favourites definitely is the All Roads to the Royal program, where we open applications to schools across rural and regional New South Wales, and give them the opportunity to apply for a fully funded program. We send a bus out, we bring them up to Sydney, put them in accommodation, feed them, and give them a program over 3 days that the average showgoer, and myself included on youth group, I've never seen behind the scenes and some of the stuff that we've organised for them guys. It's a pretty cool experience.
Tobie, last year, Lindsay and I had the pleasure of meeting those guys up in the broadcast box. This year, I believe it was a school from Cowra that we're going to get to come. Are we going to be able to work something so they might get there in 2021?
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. So what we've decided as a committee is the St. Raphael's from Cowra, who have selected this year, we'll carry them over to 2021. So they're very excited. And I suppose it gives us 12 months to stay in touch with them guys and watch them over the next 12 months, what they do. They were very heavily on moving forward, helping their local show societies around the area. So I think once we come out of this little speed bump, I suppose, in the road, we'll be able to help them, I suppose, connect with their show societies around the area and bring them up to the show next year.
What's this Agri Chats program that you mentioned a moment ago?
So Agri Chats, we get a topic that's, I suppose, relevant to the times, the Easter show. We've had a war on waste previously. I'm not gonna spoil what this year's might have been, because we might use it again next year if it's relevant. But we bring panel professionals into a panel discussion, and we get an MC that's, I suppose, a draw card and sort of champions that area. And it's all about engaging and I suppose educating the public around that topic of the day, and it's always related to agriculture, which is great.
Excuse me, Tobie, I normally could turn the button off there. Tell me, the Sydney show for you, is there someone that when you hear that name, that person just rings out to being the Sydney Royal Easter show?
Look, it depends what section of the show I'm in, but I love sitting in the arena and watching the ringmaster, Mr. John Bennett, with what he does. I think it's always great to see. There's so much that goes on in that ring, and he oversees it. And yeah, I'd probably relate to that the most in the centre arena when John's out doing his thing. It's a very interesting position.
Well, speaking of personalities, tell us who are the young professionals who make up the youth group that you're on. Where are they from, and what's their expertise?
So we've got a really diverse group that sits on the committee, actually, from a doctor to a lawyer, some policy advisors, some uni students, and it's really diverse, and I think it's a massive benefit. They bring so much knowledge, and everyone has their own little area that they're niche in, and it really works well with organising events and reaching out to their networks too. So we have 11 members that are on the committee, and we meet probably 6 or 7 times throughout the year in Sydney at the showground, in line with the council meetings, to put forward the program and the events that we run at the show each year.
Tobie, is there one area of the show that you're most passionate about? I know, for myself, show jumping would probably be my area. For Lindsay, it's probably the fashion halls. No, sorry, Lindsay.
I'll take that.
But is there one area that you really feel is your area that you get really passionate about?
I lucky enough to sit on the Sheep and Wool Committee and work with them from a youth group, and Joe Murphy, the deputy chairman of the youth group, sits on it too. We get a lot of enjoyment out of stewarding and helping them guys. It's a very interesting, the logistics behind it all and how it all unfolds. But I think I could walk around every section of the show and find something interesting to sit and have a chat to someone too, whether it's a steward, whether it's a counsellor, whether it's a judge. I still pinch myself the logistics and everything that goes on at the show, down to operations, with security and stuff like that. So I've got a very big soft spot for sheep and wool, but I'd say I'm very interested in all aspects, which is what makes the show so great in Sydney.
One of the things that makes the show so great for me, Tobie, is seeing you cut a rug at the Cattlemen's on the last Saturday night. You are one of the finest dancers that I've ever had the pleasure of dancing nearby. So we know that about you. We know about your passion for youth affairs. When you take off your Sydney Royal hat, what do you do in Wagga?
So I'm based out of Wagga and work for a Case IH Australia as a sales manager, looking after Southern New South Wales. Which is great. We're actually involved with the Easter show too, with some sponsorship. So that keeps me busy. But I suppose you only know that I'm good at dancing at the Cattlemen's, Lindsay, because you're always there. You're always the first one there on the stage dancing also.
I'm trying to keep my job, Tobie. Shush.
I will back that up. Lindsay Douglas can tear up the dance floor and has been known to come in of a morning and sit down beside me and say, just give me some time, Tim, just give me some time. And away we go. But hey, Liz, I just wanted to make mention, because we started this show and yesterday, in fact, today, I had to hunt down the postie because a very special piece of tradition for you and I turned up in the mail, in that our badges that we would have been wearing, Lindy Cornwell saw us putting this together, express posted at the beginning of the week, and it's so nice to have that little bit of tradition and be able to put in the collection.
It is indeed. One of my favourite documents to read through is the guide to all of the badges at Sydney Royal. There's many more than you would imagine. They all come in different shapes and sizes and colours, and you see the tartans on our vets, and you see the reds for our stewards, greens for the chief stewards, and of course the lovely gold and white for the announcers. So we are delighted to be wearing these, even though we're wearing them in the wrong location. But thank you very much, Lindy and John Bennett, for the initiative to post them out to us to capture the last few interviews.
Tobie, which leads me to my next question for you. Is there a tradition at the show that you just love? The show in 2022 will have been running since 1822, which will be 200 years, longer than most of Australia's governments and all our states and so many other different pieces of the nation. It's a long history that stands there. Is there a history that grabs you?
Yeah, Tim, I think a big highlight, I love the Grand Parade. I think there's so many aspects to it, the tradition to it, to the ringmaster riding up and saluting to whether it's the Governor General or the President up there. It's amazing to watch, and it sort of gives you goosebumps, I suppose, every time. I could watch it every night, I think, and still enjoy it. A bit like the nighttime entertainment, I can just sit there and watch it for 12 days straight.
I think
Final
our
question
ringmaster...
for you, Tobie. Final question for you, Tobie. It's the big one. What is your most favourite show food?
I can't go past the cheese toastie. A few reasons. Besides, they're very nice and easy, but they're one of them things, if you time it right, you can squeeze into the line. There won't be much of a line, and you usually can get 2 or 3 under your arm, and you could be out and off to wherever you're walking to within 30 seconds. So for $6, you could have 3 toasties under the wing, and you could be getting into one within 20 seconds. It's all about timing, but they're beautiful. They're a very good part of the show.
I'm going to give you one final question from me too, Tobie. The 2021 Royal Easter Show will not happen without
agriculture, excellence in agriculture, the exhibitors. I'll probably say the exhibitors. It'll be bigger than ever. I think we'll get well over 1 million people through the gates.
They say distance makes the heart grow fonder. We hope you're right, mate. Thanks for taking some time out. Enjoy Easter at home down there in the Riverina at Wagga Wagga. And we look forward to, if not before, catching up at the 2021 Sydney Royal Easter Show.
Lovely. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Lindsay.